Hi guys, alright, welcome back. My name is Amanda, also known as Mermaid Hair Donut Care, like donut. We're here today for my March palette ranking. I only used 18 palettes in March. I also had a whole lot going on, and there was more days in March that I didn't do my makeup than I've had for the past like 5 months probably. It made me sad, but I also maybe needed a little break, so it's not really like a bad thing. I also found this month a little bit easier to rank them, and I'm thinking it may be because I didn't have so many. I usually have like between 20 and 25 every month, and so this is definitely the least that I've had for a few months now. But if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. All right. So before we get started, don't judge my makeup too harshly currently because I've been wearing it for pretty much 12 hours, if not 12 hours, like 11 and a half hours. So I think this look is really cute, but don't judge it too hard. Okay. Anyway, starting off with number 18, I have the ColourPop Twilight palette. So this did redeem itself for me. I did do a couple looks, and then I wound up liking the looks that I did. Um, but the initial like disappointment with this was real. I still don't understand what these two shades are, Immortal and Edward, like that one, Edward, and then Immortal. It doesn't say that they're pressed glitter, but they look like pressed glitter. Um, which if I would have known there were pressed glitter, I would not have bought it. So I definitely fell victim to the hype. I know I said that a few times now, but like it was real. And like I said, it did redeem itself, but it's still like definitely not even close to my favorite. Um, okay, number 17 is also ColourPop. It is the Alice in Wonderland, the Lost in Wonderland palette. Now, I really did like this, but I feel like compared to all of my other palettes that I used in the month, it's not like the best quality. I think the color story's fun, and I did like the quality. I did like the shades that I used and the looks that I got out of it, but it's just not like the best. Like it could be better. Number 16. So I have to say though, I mean, other than the initial disappointment with the Twilight palette, all of the other palettes in this month, I really, really, really liked. So there's not anything that's like bad. I ranked them in a certain order because of certain factors. Um, I guess I didn't really mention. I rank my palettes. I basically, so I do it similarly to Caitlin from Caitlin House Makeup. She puts hers into categories where I actually give mine numbers. But I rank all of the palettes that I've used in March in the month. So I mean, I did say that at the beginning, but I just want to clarify. Um, so new and older. Some are new to me. Actually, there's two new palettes total in this month. The Twilight isn't like new, but it was new to me. And then the other one is new. I did get it later in the month, but it's still new. I'll get there. Anyway, none of these palettes are like terrible, horrible quality palettes that I just hate. Like that's just not the case. There's just like little factors here and there that make me rank them in certain spots, which I'm sure makes sense because that's what I'm doing here is basically like nitpicking. But All right, let's get back into it. Number 16 is the Odin's Eye Flora Story. Now, I really do like this color story. I just did like a soft, like purple with like a green, like under eye or like lower lash line, whatever you want to say. It was just like soft and it was pretty, but it wasn't anything like super special. Although this shade right here, what is it called again? Dawn, is really gorgeous. So it does have that going for it. It's just very just muted and like soft for my preference. All right, number 15 is the P. Louise Hocus Pocus Regain Focus Palette. Now, I really enjoy the quality of this palette. Side number 1, side number 2. I really enjoy the quality of this palette. I didn't have any issues. One of the looks I did was not my favorite look, but I mean, it happens. But the shimmers were really great. The mattes were really great. The packaging for me is like the main downfall here. That's why it's so low, but I still really did like the quality of the shades. But like this packaging just like kills me. It's like so big, so bulky, so hard to store. Yeah, so that's kind of why that's there. And I feel like that's like a trend for P. Louise for me because I really do like all of their shades and their palettes, but it's really the like packaging for the palettes that always gets to me that I just can't handle it. Number 14 is the Elli Beauty first anniversary first edition palette. Now, I actually love this palette. I love this palette, but the 2 pressed glitters in here for me kind of kill it. I will never use them. I'm just not ever going to use them. But this palette also has some of the best shimmers. Like, they're so good. So it's like, it hurts me to put this where this is right now. But there's like 2 shades in here that I know that I will like never use and they're not going to get any use. But the rest of the palette is so great. So it's like, it's hard. Like I said, I'm kind of just being nitpicky. In fact, this should probably be lower, which I'll give everybody a second to process. Don't come at me. This is one of my favorite palettes. I absolutely love it. The only reason why it's in the number 13 spot is because I literally used it for one look and I literally only used 2 shades and they were like the greens. So like this dark green and then this lightest green. That's it. That's all I used and it was for one look and it was literally just to like blend stuff out and give it a little depth. So I feel like it's not fair to like hold this up to like some of these other palettes when I did full looks with some of these other palettes, and this I just used like a couple shades for like blending purposes. So like I said, I have my reasons. I really do. Number 12 is the Odin's Eye Hey Reindeer palette. I actually really do like this palette, and I did something kind of like funky. Actually, it's really funny because the look that I did with this palette, I was comparing today, kind of looks like the look that I have on right now. Done with 2 totally different palettes, and this one has just like a little bit different tones. But I just thought it was funny because I was like doing something like weird and out of the box with this palette, but it kind of also looks like the look I have on right now. Not intentional. I have to say the shade Candy Canes in here is like one of my favorite freaking shades. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Number 11 is the Glamlight Rutro Raggy palette. I used this palette, I think twice or 3 times this past month, and I really enjoyed the looks that I came up with. I really do love this palette. I do wish it just had like slightly lighter mattes in it. I mean, it's only a 10 pan. My thing is like, it's a 10 pan. Did they really need to do 5 and 5? Like, I feel like we could have got away with like 3 shimmers and like 8, 7. not my brain not doing math at all. Like 3 shimmers and 7 mattes, something like that. Like, and just added like a couple lighter shades in there, like a lighter of this like limey-ish green and like a lighter blue would have been like so pretty. Um, but at the same time, all of these shimmers are so gorgeous. So I can't complain too much because I still really, really, really love the palette. Number 10, we're almost at the halfway point, is the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream Palette. Now, I used this palette this month literally on the last day of the month on Easter, and I used it for a random palette bingo, and I wound up getting a really cool color story that I really liked, and the look came out really cute. This palette I usually kind of struggle with because there's so much going on that I feel like I can never like get like a cohesive like thought process. I either go for like monochromatic or like I'll do pink and purple. I've done pink and purple like a whole bunch of times. Um, so I really liked the idea of using this for a random palette bingo. So I may just have to do that again in the future because I really liked it. Number 9, here we are, halfway, is the Beauty Bay New Mood palette. Now, this is one of the palettes that I had originally when I started doing my like picking out of a takeout hat for like my takeout hat. I always say that, takeout container for like my new palette. So I've had this brand new in the box for like over a year and a half now, and I finally just used it this month, and I really, really liked it. The shade Euphoric is so freaking pretty, like duochromy, shiftiness, amazing. I really did enjoy it. Palette number 8. All right, palette number 8, shockingly, is the Bella Beauty Bar Pastel Garden palette. The only reason why it is where it is because I didn't really use it a ton this month. What I did use when I did use it were the shimmers for just like a pop of something extra in looks that like weren't really doing it for me. I did add it to one of my Twilight looks, and then it did pop because I added this shade Morning Glory to like a bluey gray look that I did. So I did use this a few times, but it was really just like for that pop of shimmer. Like I haven't like really gotten to be like using it to do like full looks. But I know I said I was like spring is coming, March is coming, but then March was like the weather was terrible here. Like it was raining a ton. I feel like it was cold. Like it didn't really feel springy that much. I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 days that were like almost 60 and like kind of decent. So it was a little depressing, and April hasn't started out much better. The past 3 days have literally been raining, like pouring. So like I'm hoping to get more use out of it as it starts to get nicer and warmer and like more springy vibes, and then I will use it more. That's my thought process. So palette number 7 is the Odin's Eye Norns palette. I loved the look that I came up with this month with this palette. I still have barely used like all the shades. Like I think I've only used total like 6, maybe 7. So I definitely want to get more use out of this, but I really liked the look that I came up with this palette this month. So that's why it's a little bit higher up. Palette number 6 is the Blend Bunny All Done Up palette. This again, love this palette so much, but I really didn't use it that much this month. I did use the green column one time that I remember, and then I definitely used the shade Wink for a look, which is one of my favorite shimmers ever. So I did get a little use out of it, but not as much as I like would want to. Number 5 is the only like new palette, new to me and a new brand for me, and a new palette that they just released. So number 5 is the Ensley Rain Groovy Garden palette. This I really truly loved. It did impress me. I did kind of fumble a little bit with the shimmers because I got them everywhere. Like this one specifically is a little bit softer and like a chunkier texture, and I kind of got it all over myself. So there's that. But this like multi-chromey guy, oh, is so freaking pretty. I will link the video that I did with this palette below so you can go check it out and see the two looks that I created. I really did like them. Other than the fact that I was covered in glitter in one of them, I really did like them, and I really did like the palette. I like the quality. Like, I'm impressed with the brand for the first time trying it. I really did enjoy it. Number 4 is the tried and true Blend Bunny Blends palette. I have now 4 pans and we're working on more, so I just love this palette. It's just a go-to. I've been trying to pan it for over almost, oh, has it been a year? I think it has been almost a year. But I'm still gonna continue with it for 2024. I had already decided that I was gonna continue panning this because I didn't give it a full year, but then I was like, but I still want to continue to try and pan it. So it's coming with me all throughout 2024, and I want to see where it's at by the end of that. But I love the blends palette. Palette number 3 is the Unearthly Cosmetics Don't Be Jelly palette. I love this palette so much. So this palette also happens to be what is on my eyes currently. This and a little bit of the blends. I love this palette. I only did one look with this in March, but I don't even care because I just love the quality. I love the color story. This is like just one of my, very quickly became one of my favorite palettes. I want more from Unearthly. I just literally can't afford it right now, or I would try to buy all of it. I want to wait until they have like another like bigger sale, even if I have to wait till like Black Friday, and try to get some of the palettes that I either missed out on or whatever they have at that point. No idea what's coming. Their spring palette is really pretty, a little bit bigger, but definitely am not picking it up. I can't afford to, but it's very pretty. A lot softer, I feel like, than what they normally do. But like I said, very pretty. Palette number 2 is the Odin's Eye Solmantu palette. I always never, like, I never know how to pronounce that. Solmantu. I love this palette. This is definitely one of my, like, all-time favorite palettes. I use this together with the Ice Cream Dream palette to do my palette bingo collab. I will link that video below as well because that was super fun and I would love for you to check that one out. I just love this palette. I used the black, and just swatching this black, it is so freaking pigmented. Like, I was shook. I couldn't believe it. Like, I didn't show it like on camera when I filmed the collab, but I was like looking at the swatches on my hands and I was like, oh my god, that is so pigmented. Like, it was great. The look came out great. I thought it was so pretty. This shade Deep Space is such a pretty shade. Absolutely love it. So love that. And then palette number 1, I don't know if anyone would even be able to guess because I don't remember if I guess I must have filmed it for TikTok. It was just random that I used it. It was part of my bracket ranking. So it is the Odin's Eye Merry Christmas palette in March because I will use this palette throughout the entire year. I don't care that it's a Christmas palette. I just love this palette. Every look I've ever used this for has been amazing. Like, it's just so good. This shade right here called Snowman is just freaking fantastic. So is this shade. What is this? Elf Wish. I love it. But I did like a really cute like green look, and it was so good. It came out so good. I just really love this palette, and I love every look I've ever used, ever got out of it when I used it. I'm like, I can't speak properly. I've worked today. My brain's only at like 50%, if that. So that was everything. I'm so excited. Like I said, I really did like all of the palettes that I used this month, so there was nothing that was bad. I really truly enjoyed everything. Even the ColourPop Twilight palette, it did redeem itself in the end for me. So I will continue to use it. I'm not trying to just like declutter it already. I will give it another chance. I will give it another chance. I do have a whole bunch of things planned. I definitely want to be doing my random palette bingos. They're coming up. I think my most recent beauty diary entry video is probably going to go up after this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think. You'll see. I mean, you're going to probably see it before I do at this point because I don't even know what's happening, but it's all coming. It's all coming. And I really would hope that you would want to follow along in my makeup journey. My handle is Mermaid Hair Donut Care on all three platforms here, TikTok and Instagram. I'm filming this actually on my 1 year like anniversary of posting my first YouTube video, which is exciting. Um, and I did hit my goal. As of today, I have 150 subscribers at the 1 year mark, which was my goal. And I'm so excited that I hit it because I really didn't think I was going to. And I'm just like so thankful and so happy. And I just want to go even further from here. So I literally am so excited by that. And I can't wait to set other goals and try to reach those. But I would love for you to follow along in my makeup journey. I would love for you to, if you've made it this far, good for you because I've been rambling. I would love for you to like this video, subscribe, and then please come back because I have so much makeup that there is always more. Bye.